Hey, guys. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I am Big Dre in place of Kevin the Rant for this evening. And today I want to talk about knowing yourself. That's right. I'm coming in with another serious topic. Not really serious, but a more exploratory topic. Um, I just want to pose the question: do you actually know yourself? Do you know yourself? Uh, as I've gotten, you know, older, 35 plus, I started to ask myself a question. Who am I really? Who am I really? And the reason why this question is very important to me is specifically because I think we all think we know the answer. You think you know who you are, and I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying people don't know who they are. I'm saying that for me, I had to genuinely ask myself, like, yo, who am I really? Like, I'm funny, sure. You know what I mean? The superficial stuff. I'm funny. You know, what else? uh, Loving. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are attributes that I started describing when I asked myself that question. But who am I really? Meaning, what do I want my future to look like? Like being the current person who I am. What do I want my future to look like? And I started having to really figure out a way to answer this question because it's not a question that you can answer as soon as you ask it. When you look in the mirror, you say, "Yo, who am I really?" That's not something that, at least for me, that I'm able to just look in the mirror and just boom. Oh, I'm, boom, boom, boom. I'm this, that, and the third. No, I really had to dig deep and ask myself, who am I? Because you also got to come face to face with where your shortcomings are as well. Now, I'm with this topic, I'm just kind of going to go fast and loose. It's off the dome, but it's really what's, going on in my own head. Maybe some of you feel the same way, maybe you don't. That's fine. Just follow along with me. So, when I start to ask myself, who am I really? And I start to really dig deep, like, okay, I'm Andre. I'm a great friend. Then you start to ask yourself, well, am I really a great friend? Do I really show up for the people that I care about? You know what I mean? Do I really, really show up? Or do I just show up in superficial ways? Like, oh yeah, you have a barbecue, I'm there. You have a this, I'm there. Or when they have a death in the family, are you the first one there? Or when they, go through some type of crisis, are you there? You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I mean by asking yourself the question, who are you really? Who am I really? Then I start to say, oh well, I'm a good son. And then I start to say, well, damn, am I really a good son? Like, do I see my mom and my dad as much as I should? Do I call my mom and my dad as much as I should? Do I, go over and help my mom out around the house as much as I should? Do I go out with my dad as much as I should? Like anything like that, you're going to ask yourself that question and really be faced with the truth if you want to dig deep enough. If you want to dig deep enough, if you want to just, you know, pretend like everything's okay, like, nah, man, I'm a cool dude, or I'm a cool girl, I go to work, I'm a hard worker. Are you a hard worker? Are you actually a hard worker? Like, what do you do other than go to your 9 to 5 and work? Like, what do you really do to consider yourself to be a hard worker? And this is not me kicking anybody's back end. This is just what I asked myself and the answers that I came back with. So I tell myself, like, yo, I'm a hard worker. I take pride in what I do. Like, do I like doing it? Fuck no. But do I take pride in it and do I do it well? I say, yeah, I do it well. Then I start to really think about it like, no, I do it well enough. I do it well enough. Okay. So let me explain what I mean when I say I do it well enough. So I go to work a 9 to 5, just like anybody else. And um, I do what's asked. Do I go above and beyond? Only when I feel the need to, as far as customers are concerned. I will go above and beyond because I don't want to see somebody ass out. Like, okay, if I can fix it while I'm here, I'm gonna fix it. But do you take on extra work? No, I don't take on extra work. Do you work extra days? No, I don't work extra days. Do you even want, here's a big one that a lot of people might not actually think about because they're mindlessly going to work every day. Do you even want to move up in the position that you have? Do you want to even move up at your job? Because it is a job. You know what I mean? If you have a career, God bless you. But a job, do you even want to move up at this place? And the answer for me was absolutely positively not. I don't care if I move up, move sideways, as long as I don't move down. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. You really start to get, if you ask yourself, who am I really? You got to add that really part, because you'll say, who am I? And then you'll come up with all the superficial answers. But if you say, who am I really? Underneath all the garbage, the yo, I dress fly, yo, I get women, or I get men, or yo, I like to party. Underneath all of that crap, who are you really? You know what I mean? I don't think there's a specific answer. I just think that there's more questions, and those questions will lead you to the future you want to be, the future me that I want to be. You know what I mean? But let me continue. I asked myself, you know, it's not a normal question, but what kind of family member am I? What kind of family am I? What kind of brother am I? You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday to my cousin Dion, by the way. I'll be texting you happy birthday in a little bit, but what kind of brother am I? And then I start to think about it. I say, okay, well, I was there for my brother, for my one brother, whenever he needed, I thought, and then I say, well, damn, over the past couple years with the age difference, we didn't grow apart necessarily, but like we aren't, like, I'm not going out of my way to do the same things. Like before, if we go anywhere, I'll make sure my little brother goes. If we go, somewhere fun or something like that. But now I feel like he's getting older to the point where he doesn't want to do those things with me. But hopefully he gets to the point where, he gets older enough to where now we can start figuring out those things together, fishing and stuff like that. But you really start to break down who you are. And even with my aunts and my cousins and all that, clearly I'm not around as much as I need to be. You know what I mean? I just had one of my older cousins passed away a couple weeks ago, and it hit me pretty hard. I didn't, it was bad. And one of the things that bothered me, and one of the things that I thought about that I'll share, is that, like, a while ago, I don't know if it was on Facebook or if she texted me. She said, when are you going to come see me? And I said, soon. I'll be by there soon. But of course, with me, you get busy with real life, and you say, oh, I'll go down there. I'll go down there. I'll go down there. And then you hear, yo, she's in the hospital. It's not looking good. What do you do then? Like, what do you do then when the person who you told you would go see, you told them you would go see them, but you didn't get around to it? What do you do then when they're in the hospital and it's not looking good? Then what do you do a week later when they pass away and the last time you see them is going to be in a casket? You know what I'm saying? And you're so not into your work and not a hard worker that you took so many days off that you can't even take the whole day to bury your family member. And that's when you start to realize what kind of person you really are. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have the power to change. That doesn't mean that you don't have the power to, try to go in the opposite direction. Not that I'm a bad person at all. Not that I feel like I'm a bad person. That's the one thing I can be completely confident about. I am not a bad person. But I have a lot of shortcomings and I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? And the job is not to be perfect, but the job is to just be the best person that I can be. And I can say that in a lot of areas of my life, I've been falling short. Now, I don't know if you feel the same way. That's up to you to decide. But the start to that journey is to ask yourself, who am I really? See, what a lot of people don't understand, now I'm talking my shit. What a lot of people don't understand is we live on what's the best way to describe this? You live on a hamster wheel, right? Some people don't. Some people don't. Some people do new and exciting things every day and experience life in every way that you possibly can. Be the perfect son, be the perfect, whatever. But most of us live on a hamster wheel and we don't stop to think who we are really, because you're just trying to get to the next day, trying to get to the next week, trying to get to the next month, trying to get to the next year. You don't even think who you are. Hey, I don't, I ain't got to, I'm not the type of person to have time to go down and visit nobody. I ain't visiting them. I'm gonna do this. Then people start dying off and you like, shit. All right. That didn't go quite as I would liked it. Like, you think people are going to be there forever. You know what I mean? And they're absolutely not. So on this hamster wheel, you put all the stuff that, all the responsibilities, and you take a little part of that hamster wheel and you put the things that you enjoy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you might like going to the bar with your friends. I personally hate it, but you might like going to the bar with your friends. That's the little morsel you put on there, that little thing that you put on there to make that hamster wheel worthwhile. Like, I'm on this hamster wheel, but I love fishing and I go fishing every month. I go fishing every weekend. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Or you might like drinking. God bless you if you do. I think you need to sit down and talk to some people if that's all you like doing. But some people like drinking. So they say it's all worth it if at the end of the week I could have that drink and stay drunk all weekend and then go back to work. We're zombies, bro. We're zombies. We get up and do the same stuff every day, every single possible day. And then when things happen and you're surprised by them, you're like, wait, why did that happen? Oh my gosh, I was just there. No, you wasn't. You wasn't just there. You weren't just there. You was on that hamster wheel for years. You wasn't just there. You was on that hamster wheel. And we get consumed by this hamster wheel. And some of us stay on it forever. Stay on it till we die. You wonder why so many people retire and then die shortly after? Because that hamster wheel was all they had. That hamster wheel was all they had. And that's it. That's it. And that's a shame. What's up? I'm cooking right now. What's up? Huh? Yeah, get a little snack. A small snack, okay? You and Amani get a small snack. No Nutella. All right. Nah, just get something real small. Something real small. No craziness, all right? Yeah. I'm doing this in real time. Which reminds me, am I a good uncle? Because that's what I am now. I'm not necessarily a parent, but I'm a parent uncle. And I had to really look myself in the face on that one and say, bro, you got a lot to make up. You got to figure something out, because you are not the best you can be. You are not the best you can be. I had to look at myself in the face and see that. You know what I'm saying? And you have to actively catch yourself not being as present because of that hamster wheel. You ain't think I was going to bring it back to the hamster wheel. I did. You have to catch yourself, because that hamster wheel will have you so not mystified, but that hamster wheel will have you so preoccupied, because that's your life. Your life is that hamster wheel. Your life is a hamster wheel. You know what I'm saying? Your life is a hamster wheel. So you're so preoccupied with that hamster wheel that once you realize your shortcomings, once you realize that, you say, whoa, that hamster wheel got everything else messed up. Everything else is messed up. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is messed up because of this hamster wheel. You know what I mean? And listen, I hope whoever's listening, I hope you hear what I'm saying and try to go into your own self-reflective state, because that's the only way you're going to understand where you at in this hamster wheel. Like the people who don't really want to ask themselves, who am I really? Guess what? You ain't got to worry about the hamster wheel, because you're going to stay on it forever. And you're not going to ever understand why. By the time it's time to start living your life and doing the things that you want to do that you thought you could do later, you're going to be so old and so brittle and so broken that you ain't even going to be able to participate in your own life. How about that? You're not even going to be able to participate in your own life by the time you reach the point where you have time for it. You're not going to be able to participate in your own life. You dig what I'm saying? It's crazy to think about, because you're trained to be on a hamster wheel. You're trained. You know what I mean? Let me tell you how you train. I ain't even planning to get into all this, but I'm cooking. You train to be on a hamster wheel when you go into that job and they say, hey, here goes, you know, I guess this was 15 years ago. Here goes $16 an hour. You know, back in your 20s, you like, you know, back in the early 2000s, you like, damn, 16. Oh man, it's gonna be crazy. I'm going, all right, cool. I can get that car, I can get that this, I can get that. A couple years go by, you up in your 20s now. You up in your 20s, 20 something dollars an hour. First of all, we talking dollars an hour, so we already messing up, because the dollars an hour is already a whole trap that we don't know. So you go up to the 20 something dollars an hour. You might be 22 dollars an hour. You like, wow, all right. Your family is telling you, yo, you got a good job. You got a good job. That keeps you on that hamster wheel, because you got a good job now. Now you accumulating things that you have to continue to pay for, right? Okay, you might have that apartment. It's a nice apartment too. You got furniture in there. You got, let's see, you got that car. That car nice too. That keeps you on that hamster wheel. It keeps you there. You don't think about nothing but those responsibilities, those little things. You don't think about nothing but, right? So within being on that hamster wheel and making sure you work hard and get your overtime and all that, yo, your family's neglected. You know what I'm saying? Your other responsibilities are neglected. Your dreams, we ain't even gonna talk about them today. Your dreams are neglected. God forbid you have a dream and actually go and accomplish that dream. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Because that right there, or at least the pursuit of your dream, could solve a lot of things there and here to get you right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so we're not going to talk about that. So, all right, we get to, you know, when you're in your early 30s or something like that, and you making mid 20s, and I'm just going over different things. You in your mid 20s as far as making money, or mid 20s to $30 an hour, whatever it is. Dog. Then you buying houses, you know what I'm saying? Then you got your kids, and the kids is in activities, and then, you know, if you got a spouse, you know, making sure that all the bills is paid, like you're preoccupied on this hamster wheel. Meanwhile, all the other things that you would like to be pretty good at, that you thought you had all this time for, all this time, are lacking. The things that really matter. That really matter. Yeah, I'll be thinking. The things that really matter. And that's really all I'm saying. If you ask yourself, who am I really? Which I've asked myself, oh, I don't know how many years ago, and then I've you know, started trying to find the answers. Who am I really? you're going to find and really go into it deeply though. Like don't go surface level. You're going to start finding some things that you still got time to fix. You still got time to adjust. People ain't going to be around forever, man. Like I said, my cousin just died, one of my best cousins. And you know what? Now that I got some time, I'm going to kind of go into that a little bit. My cousin Londa was probably one of, like, I've never ever heard anyone say anything negative about my cousin Londa. Never. I've never had an argument with her. I've never saw her on a bad day. I'm dead serious. Never saw her on a bad day. She had this thing that she did. This is me just remembering my cousin. She had this thing that she did that was just for me and her. Just for me and her. One day I came around her crib. This is when I lived in Philly. I came around their crib or whatever. And she was like, you know, I must have been coming around too much. And she was like, oh, you know, you're just coming around to see my face. And I was like, yes, I'm coming around to see your face. Like, you know, joking around. And then literally for 20 years, every time I would see her, even if it was years in between, she would do this when I see her. Like, I wouldn't even say hi yet. I'll be hugging my aunts and doing all that. And as soon as I get to her, she'll go like this. Like presenting her face to me. And it was probably the funniest thing ever. And it always made me laugh for 20 plus years. It made me laugh. And I didn't go see her shortly before she passed away. So that weighs heavily on me. And to me, I would like to make changes in my own life. But that goes into asking yourself, who are you really? Because if you don't ask yourself that, you'll continue to do the same exact things that you always been doing. And then when you get to the end, when you have time for everybody, they either going to be gone or you're not going to be able to do it in the way that you need to do it. That's all I got for today, man. That was my thoughts in the place of Kevin Durant. This will be available on YouTube. Look, man, share this shit. Share this. This is something that, like, I get introspective when I come on here. If I come on here by myself, I'm trying to have a real conversation, or I'm trying to just throw out some real things that come from my head. You know what I mean? I want my people to grow. I want people to talk about these things. Honestly, that's my dream. That's my dream for the opinionated orifice, you know, the opinionated brand. Yo, if we can try to grow from what we're talking about, if we can try to grow from, listen, we come on here, me and my homies, we get on here, we talk about sexual stuff. That ain't all just us laughing and joking and saying, you know, ridiculous stuff. That ain't all that. That's us really talking about, you'll see me talking about my actual relationship, my actual marriage, actual things that I've went through and that I'm trying to give a lesson through. Or maybe you can continue, maybe you can help me understand why certain things happen. That's what I'm saying. Let's do that with Opinionated. Let's make it so, listen, it doesn't have to always be pussy jokes. It doesn't always have to be like sexual jokes. That stuff has a real meaning and it comes from a real place. I am married. My Dash, it has a girlfriend with many, you know, with kids. Cool Kev is engaged. We have real relationship experience, and we have perspective. You know what I mean? And we can always use other people's perspective as well, so that we can grow together. So that's really what I do this for. So that's it for me, man. Listen, y'all have a good night. And listen, follow us on YouTube. You know, subscribe on all the, you know the deal. Yeah. Y'all enjoy your night.